Hello, 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 and welcome. Welcome back to the Fly Life with Lynesha Marie. I'm so excited to be here again. I am so excited about this conversation that we are going to have today. But if you are new here, if you have not heard what is the Fly Life, it's all about thriving spiritually, mentally, physically, financially, and professionally. And it's all about living on purpose because we know that fulfillment is found in purpose. So that's what we talk about in this series. But this particular conversation, I'm so excited because we're going to be discussing the Purpose in Paradise retreat, but not just the Purpose in Paradise retreat. We're going to be highlighting one of the speakers. And it's one of my favorite speakers, but they're all my favorite speakers. So that's why you have to just stay in tune. You just need to make sure that you are here for all of the speaker spotlights, whether you're watching it live or catching the replay. It doesn't matter, because we just pray. Our hope is that it is an on-time word and that you glean something from the conversation. So let's just get into it, because I do not want to prolong the time, but I'm excited about this conversation because this woman that we are bringing to the stage, she is someone that I actually met in August of last year. And I know we're not really supposed to do dates and stuff on YouTube, but it's fine. But I've known her to date for a little over a year and almost a half. And it's just crazy how much time has gone by. She is a wife. She is a mother. She is a grandmother. She is an HR consultant. She is a speaker of Wani Speaks. She is one of my sisters in success in the travel industry. But not only that, she is a Kingdom Wealth and Purpose Designer coach. And I'm so excited because she is going to be facilitating our F.L.Y Spiritually workshop at the Purpose in Paradise retreat. And if you don't know what the retreat is, just make sure you stay in tune. But I'll just tell you a little bit about it. It is a time that we will be going to spend time in sunny Cancun, Mexico for 3 days, July 4th weekend in 2025. And we want to see you there. It is for all the ladies, for us to come together, because I love creating space and community for women to share resources, encourage each other, hold each other accountable, to continue going after our goals, but most importantly, living on purpose. And living on purpose is, like I said, thriving in every area of life and being intentional with how we're spending our time. And so, Wyniautta, I'm going to have Minister, Coach, my sister in success. Let me just bring her on up to the stage. Bring her up. Come to the stage, and welcome.
Hi, the F.L.Y Coach. How you doing, sister? I'm excited about this conversation.
Yes, I am so excited about the conversation. Since we've connected, we just collab in so many ways, yet to still come probably. But I'm so excited about this conversation because it is definitely needed and something that the people want to hear. Now, I know I said a little bit about your background and your introduction, but go ahead and let the people know, who is Minister Wyniautta and what do you do?
Listen, I am your ordinary minister. I'm about to say pastor. Lord, I am not a pastor. That is not it. So please forgive me. But again, I am just a normal wife, mother that loves to glorify God, loves to give God praise, loves to help people. Again, like she stated, I am a Kingdom Wealth and Purpose Designer coach, just making and designing lives for wealth guided by the kingdom. So that is who I am. That's what I love to do. I'm full of energy. I love people. I love helping people. And I'm just love to see people thrive in what they're doing and what their passion is, and helping them thrive in their passion and making it a profit. So that's who I am. Thanks to you, Lynesha.
Awesome. But no, we are not. I heard you. You said pastor. I heard it. Listen, we cannot. We already know we can't run from what God is telling us to do. We can't. Okay. And I know we're going to talk about this because have you ever ran from what you knew God wanted you to do? Did you run from anything before?
Absolutely. So just recently, because it is elevation, right? I am getting ready to be elevated. Ooh. And it's pastoralship. Let's make that very clear. But it is getting ready to be in office of what God is calling me to be. And I did run from that. This last time when I took ill, it could have went another way. Just say, God, to God be the glory. My son found me on our floor. I was coming out the shower. He found me. I don't know how long I was out, but when he found me, he said I was out for 10 minutes. So with that being said, when God restored me, he said, are you ready to your elevation? In order for you to for me to heal you, I need you to stop running from what I need to your next level of where I'm trying to take you. Did not know what God was doing at the time. He was just setting me up, and I was like, God, I'm telling God, well, I ain't ready for this. I'm not ready to go into this elevation. I'm not ready to go. That is a whole nother office that I'm not ready to do. And he said, are you ready to be healed, or you want to stay in this situation? So I had a choice to make. And
Ooh.
I had to say yes to him. So yes, in that moment, just recently, November 15th, well, I'll say I'll back it up. November 8th, on my husband's birthday, is when I had to totally submit to God, and now the healing process can begin.
Wow. Well, first and foremost, I am so thankful. I remember when I got the word that you were in distress, and hey, I know we see some people in the chat. Hey. And I remember when we got the news like that you were in distress, and immediately went into prayer because what? But we thank God for healing. We thank God that you're okay, and that
Yes.
you're here, and that you were found at the right time. We're just thankful, but God will definitely get our attention. Okay.
Yes.
We can run as much as we want to, but he will get our attention however he needs to get our attention. And I'm glad I'm here. I heard the word elevation. So elevation, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen and what's coming in store, especially in 2025. So listen, that was too deep. That was right out the gate that we just went in, and that wasn't even on the script. But that's okay. That's okay.
Absolutely. Well, that's how we roll, you know.
That is how we roll. But I do want to just backtrack and focus a little bit more about what you do, because the people may not know what you want to do. So we definitely want to talk about that. But what is the most rewarding part of the work that you do?
Just helping people turn their passions into profits, finding their purpose, turn their purpose into what their passion is, and helping them to line those things up with what God called them to be. And the reason why it's rewarding to me, because I struggled when I first became a minister. I was asking God, what is my purpose? Why is it that you want me to be a minister? Okay, my parents are preachers. I didn't want to be a preacher. I didn't want to do any of that. I wanted to know what my purpose was. What is it that I am called to do for the kingdom of God? And I struggled with that for a while. And so when I found my purpose, that I am to help entrepreneurs, to help other women and men to thrive and breaking generational barriers, helping them with wealth. I never understood why God had me to study for a whole year finances and wealth and prosperity. And when I tell you that when I submitted to God in that purpose and in his will, things start lining up with me for me. And so that's why I'm the Kingdom Wealth. And also with your help too, Lynesha, you had me to come up with the whole Kingdom Wealth and Purpose Design and Coach, and combining fashion with my travel business and with my ministry, and it all just kind of worked together. So just helping people and designing their best life for them and in the kingdom of God, and sticking to what their values and their morals is, and having that honesty and integrity. Back to you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is why we get along so well. And this is why we kind of just clicked, because we talk about similar things, but in different ways, of course. And at the end of the day, we have to operate in our lane and space. And that's why I love our community, because there is no competition. It is all collaboration, because we need each other in order to continue growing and to continue elevating. Okay, I'm gonna use your word, because now I'm gonna hold you accountable. Like, this is the year of elevation. Okay, it is the year of elevation. And so I completely understand when you talk about tapping into that wealth, and that's what is big for me as well. And I talk about, finding your gold mine, because it's like, how do we find our purpose, and how do we tap into the inner wealth? Because oftentimes individuals sit on their talents, their skills, their abilities, their purpose, what God has called them to do, and it creates wealth. And so it's about uncovering those things in order to continue moving forward. Because I'm like, lack where, scarcity where? That's not my portion, and that is not for me. So I am right there with you, and that's why I love these conversations. Okay, so let's just segue for just a little bit. So heading into the Purpose in Paradise retreat, like I said, it is for the ladies. I'm sorry, the gentlemen can come, but they can't come to everything. Okay, I'm sorry, it's just for the ladies. But we're going to be highlighting, different workshops. And of course, we're going to have some work and some play, because you can never get Lynesha on a beach and not be in the water. Okay, I have to be in the water. And so, but we're going to be talking about different topics. And of course, your specific topic is going to be about purposeful living and how being intentional in our spirit lives and in our spirit life is important. So what would you say is one thing that you would want individuals to walk away from after the session? And of course, the goal is to just tease them, because you got to be in the room. So we're not going to give you all the jewels. Okay, we're not going to give you all the nuggets. But what would you want them to walk away from the session?
Just really understanding what spirituality means to them and how their purpose can line up with what God is calling them to be, making sure that it's lined up. So that's the one thing I would tell them to do. Just make sure that your purpose is lining up with God and what the spirituality means to you. Back to you.
Got it. Because, and I say, and the reason why, we have to start with the spiritual side, and is because we have to know who we are. We have to know why we were created. We have to know that, because that's going to dictate everything else that we do. And so it is it is so very essential in our walk and as we move, so that we don't waste time. One of the phrases that I was given, and it's so funny, when I tell you we are so very similar, because I too had a life or death situation. And right before that situation, God told me, we don't have time to waste time. So what are we doing with the time that we have? And it was at that moment that I'm like, God, what you talking about? Like, sometimes it's easy to treat time as if it's just an abundant resource, that we just have it and we can do what we need to do. We know what we need to do later. We don't have to do it right now, but later may not come. And so it's like, well, what are we doing right now in this moment? And taking care of our spirit life and our spirit man is so important. And so the next question I want to ask you is, well, how does the topic of flying spiritually or living spiritually, how does that contribute to a fulfilling life?
OMG, a fulfilling life. I did take notes because I didn't want to mess up, but it is definitely fulfilling, because when you're able to walk in your purpose, everything pretty lines up, financially, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. Everything pretty lines up when you align your fulfilling your life with purpose, having the understanding of what your purpose is and what God is calling you to be. It's definitely fulfilling, and having that peace. It gives you peace. It gives you that deeper connection with God and understanding of who you are in God as well. So back to you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I forgot to say at the beginning, the one thing we don't do is minimize. Okay, we do not minimize God in our life, because I know we live in a day and age where, there's different things, right, that people believe in. There's different things that people do, but over here on this platform and on Minister Wyniatta's platform, we talk about God. And that is what that is the first thing above all things. Before we even got onto this stream, what do? We prayed. Okay. Because we know that we need God in everything. And so, but that's maybe not where, I know for me personally, I wasn't always there in my walk with God. Like it was a journey. Okay. And I know both of our parents are in church leadership, and so even though we know things, we don't always do the right thing. And the one thing that my dad would always say is that life is about choices, and it is. And so let's talk. You kind of touched on it a little bit in the beginning, but can you tell us about a pivotal moment in your life that really pushed you towards pursuing your purpose?
Yes. And so just to give you a little, when I first started, it has been told to me at the age of 13 that I'll be a preacher. Of course, you run from that, right? I ran for years. My mama's a preacher, my dad's a preacher, my grandmama's a minister, my auntie is a pastor. I don't want to do it. I just want to go to church and be a member, okay? And just help the church. That's what I wanted to do. And so it was a time that I was, I accept my calling. I was not trying to be a minister. I was living with a whole man at the time, and I was shacking up, to be truthful. But God, when He wants you, He wants you. And so I had accepted my calling to God and as ministry. And it was then when I had told God, listen, get me out of this situation. I don't want to be up in a pulpit and preaching the gospel, and I'm living and shacking up with a man. And he did just what I told him to do. In less than 48 hours, me and that guy broke up. And then I got a year later, actually 2 years later, I ended up marrying my husband now. So that was the pivotal moment. I could not be living in any kind of way and then preaching about it. I couldn't do it.
Wow. Can we just talk about that prayer for a moment? Everybody knows when you say that prayer, like, God, let me know if this is for me. Immediately, that thing will get removed. So when I tell people don't play with God for real, because when you pray, our words are powerful, okay? And he will show you. So if you say that prayer, be ready for the response. Be ready for the action. And stand on it, okay? Because he answered your prayer.
Yes.
And so don't be blinded to it and say, well, did you say it for real? Because I've done that. I know I've done that. Like, well, did I hear that for real? No, you heard it. And that's what this conversation is about. And that's what even the retreat is about, is doing what we know that we should be doing what we know that we've been called to do, and stop sitting on it because we don't have time to waste time. So the question I have for you is, we know, and something that I talk about often as it relates to cultivating our relationship with God, cultivating our spiritual life, it's about being intentional. It's literally an intentional life, right? And an intentional lifestyle. So how do you personally incorporate that balance between being an entrepreneur, but still making sure that you are cultivating your spiritual walk? Because it's intentional, but it does take action.
Yes, and so it does. And just having that, being intentional, I create a routine in the morning, my prayer life. In the morning, I have self-care. I take time to meditate. I just take time and I schedule my work day, because we have that luxury to schedule our work day. So I schedule my work day around my times I have to preach. All those different things is what I do. And I use a calendar. Like, that really helps me to keep things in order with appointments, doctor's appointments, everything I have, to keep that balance and be very intentional about the appointments that I'm setting, and also prioritizing my life. Okay, I have to clean my house, all right? So I have to schedule when to clean my house. All those different things that I do and set priorities and boundaries as well, to have that be very intentional to have that balance that I need.
Man, time management, calendars. I cannot tell you, my life has forever changed. See, I used to talk about the older people back when I was young, and I'm like, they doing too much. Like, they don't have to do all of that. Like, just do it, right? No, nowadays, if it's not on my calendar, it is not getting done. If it's not on that to-do list, it's not even thought about. Okay, I have to keep track of my time, because otherwise I will squander it. And that's why I'm so intentional about it, because and then it tells you, like, you really had time to do this, but you was over here scrolling. Okay. You was over there on social media. You was over there on TikTok doing everything but what's on that list that you said that you needed to do today. So is it really that important to you? Is it really a priority to you? Or is that other thing that you're doing a priority? And it's like, it'll make you look like, because on my to-do list, it's like reschedule, and I'm like, dang, I gotta reschedule it for the next day because it's almost midnight and I didn't get a chance to do it, and I'll be salty, like, I guess I gotta reschedule it. And then it makes me say, well, Lynesha, what did you really do today? Okay, like, why are we rescheduling this? And so it's really a check, like, how are we managing our time? So I do want to segue a little bit. So I know we hinted a little bit about the workshop in the session, but tell us, what excites you the most about speaking at the event in this setting in Cancun? What excites you?
First of all, it's being with Lynesha, the F.L.Y coach. Let's just get that out there. And anybody that knows her knows that she is extra and she is a luxury, okay? And so I'm just excited that, first of all, and humbled that she even asked me to be a speaker. And then also, we're going to be at Cancun, all inclusive, all adult only. That is amazing. And then also just to form a community with other like-minded individuals who believe like I believe, who are in entrepreneurs like I am, and just to build another community, another sisterhood with like-minded individuals. That's what I'm most excited about, and just to see what God is about to do in the next level. So thank you.
Ooh, in the next level. But I was over there cracking up when you like, Lynesha is extra. Listen, we want to have a good time. Okay. We want a little bit of, because we deserve it. Okay. We done worked, we put our time in. So when we vacation, I mean, we vacation responsibly, right? We don't want anybody going into debt for a vacation, right? But we want you to come out and have a good time. It is going to be so very exciting from, yes, the workshops, but I'm so excited about the late night pool party. I'm excited about the networking. I'm excited about the sunset cruise. I'm excited about, like, I literally was talking to the cruise individuals this yesterday. And so I'm just excited to be with women that are intentional and want to create community, like you said, with other women, other like-minded women that are working towards our goals. And that's the thing that I like even about the travel business that we're in. It's like, we may be in business for ourselves, but we're not by ourselves. We don't have to isolate if we don't want to. And it's something even that I call him Pastor Daddy, because my dad is a pastor. But it's just something about saying pastor in the last name. I just can't do it. That's my dad, Pastor Daddy. But he always will say, like, at the end of the day, it's like, yes, life is about choices. He talks about, like, he just gives me so many nuggets aligned what we talked about. And so I'm like you talked about how we oftentimes run from stuff. It's like, no, you thought you were running from something, but what you did was you just ran a lap. That's what you did. And you came right on back to where you should have been in the first place. But it's okay, because we learn along the way. And that's what it's all about. We're not by ourselves. We're not in business by ourselves. We're working together, and I love the collaboration. And so,
and that's what scripture says, right? It says that we are to work together. We are workers together, and we have to assemble ourselves together and help one another. In Hebrew, that's what he was all talking about. And so a lot of times we get the employee mindset that it's one-on-one. No, it is a team effort. Jesus had 12 disciples. And what happened? A small group of people, and what? It worked. He worked and he got the mission done. He died and he rose again, right? So again, I ain't gonna go into all that, but that's what it is about.
We're not preaching today, okay? No. But find us on our platforms, and you may see something. Maybe not from me, but from a minister over there who already said she's a pastor, okay? But no, I'm so very excited. And so as we just wrap up this conversation, because I just wanted to come together and just kind of talk a little bit, give people a little taste, a little tease of what they can expect in Cancun. But of course, we want to continue working together as individuals may come across the Kingdom Wealth and Purpose Designer, because yes, she is a whole model out here in these streets. And so I'm like, how can you leverage what you're already doing? How can you leverage your passion? And that's my strength and what I coach. And of course, we both work in HR. It's like, find what you're already good at and perfect it. Mm-hmm. We're reading a book right now. It's called No Limits, and it's Blowing the Cap Off Your Capacity by John Maxwell, who is amazing. I followed him for many years. I have so many of his books. And it's in another book that we also read, it was like finding what you're most brilliant in, right? And what I talk about is finding your skills. What are your strengths? What are your talents? Because what John Maxwell talks about in the book is that if you focus on something that you're just average in or below average, you can only get it to average status. That's where it's going to be, because it's not a strength of yours. And so funnel that energy instead on what you are already great at and perfect it, because people pay for what? They pay for excellence. They don't pay for average. And I heard that and I said, it is so true. So I need to be focused on, what am I great at? And that's where I need to be laser focused in. But all of that comes back, it's full circle to figuring out why God created you. What gifts and talents did he gift you with that he already placed on the inside of you, and pursue those things. So as we wrap up the conversation, just tell us a little bit about, do you have anything that's in the works, anything, any events coming up, or how can people connect with you if they want to learn more about you and your journey to elevation?
Yes. So again, I love the word elevation, and it is elevation. Again, I am hosting a one-day info session on Friday at 6:00, and it's on Zoom, on just making sure that we are staying in line with our strongest month. We finishing strong. That's what it's called. Finish strong in the month of December. Whatever goals that you had set for 2024 is not late. Let's go ahead. So I'm giving you tips and information on how to build build strong, right, and to finish strong. And then also, shout out to my business partner who is on here, Minister AJ Small. We be looking out for us as we do a Kingdom Boss Chick with Urban Enterprises is our brand, Urban Enterprises, and then also Kingdom Boss Chick. So be looking out for 2025 more with us with that. And it's just a community of women coming together, like-minded individuals who are, whether you want to write a book, whether you want to just turn your business, your profit into your passion into profit, and you just run with that. So that we kind of put our heads together and partner and did that. So be looking out for in 2025 more of that, along with more trips that you can book with us as well. So stay tuned.
Woo woo! I am so excited. That is so good. That what is it? The Kingdom Boss Chicks. Listen. Yes, make sure we have the information for that so that we can stay connected. And shout out to Minister AJ. Yes, we're going to have to get you on. See, the people, you got to catch it live or you got to catch the replay because you missed insider tips because I have a series coming up. It's called Girl Talking Goals because that's just what I love to do is girl talking goals. And so we're going to have to come back, the three of us, and have another conversation where we can talk more about what does that look like to be a Kingdom Boss Chick? What is that? You know, so I'm so excited.
Yes, I am too.
Yes. And more trips because listen, there's a big wide world for us to see, and we are taking our goals around the globe. So to my sister in success, I just want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I appreciate you for sharing this space with me today and for what you shared. I appreciate your transparency. I appreciated the things that you shared about your personal story and things that you've experienced. And I know for a fact that individuals and women can definitely relate to it. And so keep sharing your story. Keep speaking because that's why you are Wani Speaks, and you are destined and you are going to be a tremendous blessing to all the lives that you come across and that's in your world and realm of influence. And so I'm excited about elevation and to see where you go and grow. So thank you, my sis.
I am so humbled and so honored to be in your presence as always. I love our relationship. I love how you just love God and your ministry and how you just willing to share and don't gatekeep. You guys, she just be telling me stuff. I be like, everything that she learned, she just texts me, we could do this, we could do that. I'm like, girl, I wasn't even thinking about this today. But I thank you. I really do. And I'm just looking for great success and also us continue to work together and keep building that relationship and that sisterhood because guess what? You stuck with me now, ma'am.
Listen, I say the same thing. Look, I'm the accountability partner that you didn't know that you needed, but now you have me and I'm going to stick beside you because we have work to do and we are going to get it done. We're not trying to get it done. We're going to get it done. So you also, I do want to, before we hop off, I know you have a cruise coming up. So do you want to share anything about that?
Yes, thank you so much for that. I forgot about that. It's coming up 2026, and yes, you could pay your deposit of $25 just to hold your price, and it's broken up to 3 payments, and it's called where fashion meets travel. It's the name of the cruise, and it's a family business called Seal Knee. And I have again some amazing things in store that's going to be in 2026. And right now, it's $25 to hold your cabin, and then it's also broken up to 3 payments. So please contact me for that as well. Thank you.
Yes. So we'll make sure.
Going on, I forgot.
That's good. That is good. It's exciting. It's so excited how you are just continuing to blossom and expand. And so we will make sure that we get that information in the description box for you to check out that information if you want more. Seize the runway. Thank you. Seize the runway. Okay.
Have people and go team that know. You hear me?
Yes. Well, I am so excited for more information that we will definitely let the people know so that they can connect with you. Connect with her on her social media. It is in the description box as well. Like, follow, all of the things as we just continue growing and we continue doing what it is that we've been called to do. And it's not a me thing, it's a we thing. We are all called to do something. We all have an assignment to do while we are here on this earth. And that is what we are coaching, encouraging, and challenging you to do each and every day. So thank you so much for your time. And we will see you on the Fly Life next time. See you later.